How important is legal aid funding in Australia? What is its significance in the upcoming budget for 2024-2025? This question has been brought to the fore by the Law Council of Australia, which has called for an increase in funding for legal assistance services in the next budget. The budget compilation process has seen Assistant Treasurer Stephen Jones and Minister for Financial Services Katie Gallagher invite opinions from a broad spectrum of society, individuals, businesses, and community groups. This inclusive approach is designed to ensure that the budget provides ongoing support to Australians and lays the groundwork for a robust, inclusive, and sustainable economy. But within this broad canvas, the Law Council has stressed the crucial need for greater funding for legal assistance. As the Council's president, Greg McIntyre, so succinctly put it, our legal assistance sector and the people who rely on it cannot wait any longer. What does the Law Council's pre-budget submission entail, you may ask? The answer lies in a robust commitment to social justice, grounded in the belief that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, should have equal access to the law. The Law Council of Australia has underscored the urgent need for increased funding to legal assistance services. Their pre-budget submission, a comprehensive document detailing the Council's recommendations for the upcoming budget, highlights the critical importance of investing in initiatives that can improve outcomes for individuals facing disadvantage. This includes older Australians, people living with disabilities, women and children who are victims of family violence, asylum seekers, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. The Council's focus is on providing support to these vulnerable groups. It's about helping them lead better lives, with access to justice being a fundamental ingredient. The Council believes that these individuals often find themselves more susceptible to legal issues, and their legal requirements tend to be more complex compared to the general public. Greg McIntyre, the Council's president, stresses the need for greater attention to their access to justice. He argues that the legal system should not be a labyrinth only navigable by the privileged few. Instead, it should be a tool available to all, a means by which individuals can assert their rights, protect their interests, and advocate for themselves. The Council's pre-budget submission is not just about numbers and financial considerations. It's about people. It's about the 13.4% of Australians who live below the poverty line. It's about those who are not eligible for legal aid but still can't afford private legal fees. It's about the gap, the void where justice should be, but isn't. In essence, this submission is a call to action, a plea for a more equitable Australia where no one is left behind. As McIntyre stated, individuals who face disadvantage are often more vulnerable to legal issues and tend to have more intricate legal requirements. This is not a simple issue, but it's one that can't be ignored. It's time for a change, and it starts with prioritizing legal aid funding in the 2024 or 2025 budget. What is the National Legal Assistance Partnership, NLAP, and why is it crucial? You may ask. Well, the NLAP is a landmark agreement signed by each state of Australia. It has 5 key objectives: to make legal assistance services client-centric, particularly for people facing disadvantages, to ensure these services are provided in collaboration with other service providers and governments for integrated services, to provide legal assistance at the right time, to empower people to understand and assert their legal rights and responsibilities, and to support providers in building their capacity to respond to evolving service demand. The Law Council of Australia recently commented on the current Commonwealth funding under the NLAP, stating it is half of what is needed to meet demands on the legal assistance sector. This shortfall is a serious issue, considering the critical role of the NLAP. The focus on legal assistance targets the 13.4% of Australians who live below the poverty line, as well as those who are not eligible for legal aid, but are still unable to afford private legal fees. To recap, why is there a need for increased legal aid funding? We've discussed the vital role legal aid plays in Australian society, particularly for the disadvantaged. The Law Council of Australia, in its pre-budget submission, highlighted the urgent need for more funding. They argue that individuals facing disadvantage often have more complex legal needs, making legal aid crucial. The National Legal Assistance Partnership, or NLAP, is a key player in this arena, striving to provide client-centric services and empower individuals to understand and assert their rights. However, current funding is simply not enough to meet the growing demand. The Council's focus is not just on those living below the poverty line, which is a staggering 13.4% of Australians, but also those who don't qualify for legal aid, yet can't afford private legal fees. As the Law Council of Australia has emphasized, the time to prioritize legal aid funding is now. The upcoming 2024 to 2025 budget will be a pivotal moment for legal aid in Australia.